Hello everyone. This is Arulmozhi Varman, and the topic I chose for the selfie seminar is the elasticity effect, how demand and supply bend to market forces. The contents are introduction to elasticity of demand and supply, price elasticity of demand, cross price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, price elasticity of supply, and then conclusion. So let's go to the introduction. Elasticity of demand and supply is an important topic in economics that helps to explain how the change in price affect the quantity demand or the supplied of a particular goods or service. Essentially, elasticity measures the responsiveness of the buyers and sellers to the changes in the market conditions. There are two main types of elasticity: price elasticity of demand and price elasticity of supply. So let's move on to the main topic. Price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand is calculated by dividing the percentage change in quantity demanded by the percentage change in price. If the resulting number is greater than 1, demand is considered elastic, meaning that the consumers are highly responsive to changes in price. If the number is less than 1, demand is considered inelastic, meaning that the consumers are relatively insensitive to changes in price. Factors that influence the price elasticity of demand include the availability of substitutes, the proportion of income spent on the product, and the time horizon over which consumers can adjust their product purchasing habits. So the types of price elasticity of demand is elastic demand, unit elastic demand, inelastic demand, perfectly elastic demand, and perfectly inelastic demand. Elastic demand means the demand is elastic if the percentage change in quantity demanded exceeds the percentage change in price. Unit elastic demand means if the percentage change in the quantity demanded equals the percentage change in price. Inelastic demand means if the percentage change in the quantity demanded is less than the percentage change in price. Perfectly elastic demand comes when the quantity demanded changes by a very large percentage in response to an almost 0% change in price. Perfectly inelastic demand is when the quantity demanded remains constant as the price changes. The factors affecting price elasticity of demand and its applications. The availability of replacement products or services, the percentage of income spent on the commodity or service, and the time during which the price shift happens are some variables that might impact the price elasticity of demand. Demand is more elastic when there are numerous options for a thing or sell a service because customers are more likely to switch to a new product if the price increases. Similarly, customers are more likely to be sensitive to price changes. Demand will be more elastic if a significant amount of their income is spent on a particular commodity or service. Businesses can decide on pricing and marketing tactics by considering the price elasticity of demand for their products. So let's move on to the cross price elasticity of demand. Cross price elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of consumers to changes in price of related product. A positive cross price elasticity means that the two products are substitutes, while a negative cross price elasticity means that there are complements. For example, if the price of the coffee increases, the demand for tea may increase as consumers switch to a cheaper alternative. On the other hand, if the price of the printer decreases, the demand for ink cartridges may increase since more people will be buying printers. So how to calculate and interpret cost price elasticity of demand? So the formula for calculating cross price elasticity of demand is percentage change in quantity demanded of the good A by percentage change in price of good B. This is a simple equation which can be used to calculate cross price elasticity of demand. When assessing the cross price elasticity of demand, its size is crucial. The two items are substitutes if the cross price elasticity of demand is more significant than 1. If it's less than 1, the two products are complementary. If the number is exactly 1, the two products are unconnected. Income elasticity of demand. It measures the responsiveness of consumers to changes in their income levels. A positive income elasticity means that the demand for a product increases as income increases, while a negative income elasticity means that the demand for a product decreases as income increases. For example, luxury goods like high-end cars and designer clothing tend to have high income elasticities, while necessities like food and housing tend to have low income elasticities. The types of income elasticity of demand. Standard goods, sub-bar products, and luxury goods have a different level of income elasticity of demand. Demand for typical items is positively correlated with income, which means that as the income rises, so does demand. Luxury goods have a high elasticity income, which indicates that as the income rises, so does the demand for the commodity. Factors affecting and limitations of income elasticity demand. Various variables influence the income elasticity of demand for an item or service. These factors include the availability of comparable products, the degree of market rivalry, and the need for the commodity or service. One drawback is that the income elasticity of demand needs to account for the other variables that may affect demand, such as taste, preference, and advertising. Instead, it evaluates how sensitive demand is to change in income. Comparing the income elasticity of demand across contexts might be challenging since it can change based on the period and geographical location. Price elasticity of supply. Price elasticity of supply is calculated by dividing the percentage change in quantity supplied by the percentage change in price. If the resulting number is greater than 1, supply is considered elastic, meaning that producers are highly responsive to changes in price. If the number is less than 1, supply is considered inelastic, meaning that the product producers are relatively insensitive to changes in price, which we have already discussed in price elasticity of demand. Factors that influence the price elasticity of supply include the availability of inputs, production technology, and time horizon over which the producers can adjust their output levels. How to calculate price elasticity of supply? A straightforward formula can be used to determine the price elasticity of supply. Percentage change in quality supply divided by percentage change in price. Businesses and decision makers can use this method to measure how responsive their supply is to price changes. However, figuring out the price elasticity of supply in practice can be difficult because it calls for precise information on both price and quantity delivered over time. The formula also assumes that all other elements influencing supply are constant, which may not always be the case in the actual markets. Applications and limitations of price elasticity of supply. Application for price elasticity of supply in business and policy are numerous. Price elasticity of supply, for instance, can be used by businesses to establish the best pricing strategy for their goods and by policymakers to evaluate the effects of taxes and subsidies on product behavior. Its assumption that all other factors impacting supply remains constant, which may not always be the case in real-world markets, is one of the fundamental drawbacks. Furthermore, in markets with high entry barriers or little competition, the price elasticity of supply might need to be reflected the actions of producers adequately. The conclusion. So we are at the end of the presentation. So the conclusion is understanding elasticity of demand and supply is crucial for businesses and policymakers alike. By analyzing the responsiveness of buyers and sellers to change in market conditions, decision makers can be more informed choices about pricing strategies, production levels, and resource allocation. While there are many factors that influences elastic and it's ultimately determined by the behavior of consumers and producers in responsive to changes in price, in changes in price and income, such as it is important for economics and analysis to stay up to date on the market trends and consumers' preference in order to accurately predict the changes in demand and supply. Thank you.